Alright folks, so working with my 91 Ford Explorer, I am changing my ignition switch. My basic problem, number one, it always had, this thing just spins like crazy. My latest thing is I'm sticking it in there and broke my key off. So I didn't have too much of an issue because I was able to stick it in there, but now I'm ready to change this out. I'll get a part from AutoZone, I think, to be able to replace it. So basically, even if it's a broken key or if you just need to change it for some other reason, leave that broken bit in there and you're able to stick this in to kind of turn in order to start your car if you need to. Alright, so knowing that in mind. So what you're going to do first off is head underneath. Going to see an access hole here, and I'm going around like this to show you where it is. An access hole here. So in those access holes you're going to get your Phillips screwdriver to go inside of there. Take out the two screws. So basically they're really long screws. I've already taken them out because you know I work one-handed when I'm doing this stuff, so it's kind of hard. Once you've taken this out, since we have our nice little handy-dandy tilt steering wheel, I usually tilt this all the way up, which helps me out. There's a big truck pulling next door. To pull this down slightly, coming forward, and it lifts out. There's basically pins that hold on into here to help lock it in place. So after you take out those two screws, that's what you want to do. Now, looking a little bit more into the column, you can kind of see what's going on here. See that little diagonal rod? I'll point that out here. Right about here. It's kind of like a little round shape. See that little shape right there? That's what's blocking the access to your tube. To the hole, shall I say. That little tube is blocking the access to the hole. So you got to get in there from under here. Now what I've done is, you can do this with a wire. I basically had a broken ink pen, so it's a really hard plastic tube that I was able to go underneath. This hole, by the way, is misleading. This is the hole where the screw goes in to attach to the top piece of the plastic, which goes right there. What you want to do is go beyond that hole. Get yourself just enough of an angle to get in there. Now if you don't get your angle right, you just end up on the other side of it. As you can see with mine, I'm not quite in there. That's way too deep. So I'm actually, see it right up in there? So you got to get it at an angle. So if you're going to use a wire, bend that wire slightly. I've got this hard plastic tube, so I'm just going to bend it like that to get nice and synced up with that hole. Cool, I am in there. Now what you got to do, let's see if I can do this one-handed, is get your key, or that broken piece of key if you happen to broke it off into the ignition. Stick it in there, because you want to turn it to the run position, which is just before the start. Push that button in, which is basically pushing in that little rod that you've stuck through that little slant, and this baby, if I can do that, move the key out the way, will just slide out. It's just as simple as that. See that little pin right there? That's all you're pushing in, and the access to it is right there. You can actually look inside. I'll show you what it's doing. See that? That's all I did. So I hope that helps somebody out. I'm going to try to get a better view for you. So once again, I'm just using a piece of plastic ink pen that I had broken in my car. I'm bending it so I can get that angle. If you use a piece of metal, rod, or something like that, long, flexible, slightly nail, just bend it a little bit so that you can get in there. You want to match for this tube, so you want to go just on the other side, just like in there, just kind of like alongside of there. Bend it a little bit so you can get right up in that little slot, and once you're in there, you just kind of push it in. Of course, again, turning your key to the run position, and you're ready to roll. Alright, so hope that helps you learn how to get it out, because now I have a video in case I forget, but I'll probably never forget. Of course, putting it in is putting it in, and whatever you need to do from that point, but I've taken mine out, so I'm going to replace it.